the places that we from, and then even the place you from, who's living in the bottom of right? Us. Sometimes bandits get thrown in there too, but it's usually us. Have you ever thought, dang, why? Our people work the most out of anybody else. Our people have 2, 3 jobs. Our people hustle on the side. Our people might, man, from a young age, people were selling chips, doing everything else in school they could to make ends meet and make money. But how in the world is it that we still don't ever have enough for certain things? That is white people, believe it or not, that's making less than us, but that's living better than us. Not just because privilege, because how people see us in the world, it's a curse. Right? And then talking about cursed out being in the field. Who was cursed in the field? Even looking at that poster right there. It had to be us. There's other races that been through hard stuff, like, they taught us a little bit in school about how California and in the West, during the gold mine ages and stuff like that, it's people like Chinese people, Hispanic people, they had it hard too, but a majority of the ones who had it the worst was us. They never put them people in fields like that. But when you think about who's been enslaved the most on a large scale, it's us, to everybody in the world. You had the transatlantic slave trade bringing us over here, and that started way before 1619, 13, 1400s, but most of us don't even know that. Then you had the sub-Saharan slave trade with us in the Middle East and stuff like that. Then you even had it happen with Asian people as well. Anybody else been shipped around like that but us. We done went everywhere and still don't even know where we come from, right? So that's just one of the curses of how you know that it's talking about us. What other one you want?
Right. That's right. Give me 54 real quick. Because these curses are in the Bible for a reason, so we can notify people. That's why the Lord put these curses in the Bible, because blacks and Latinos, we are the only race of people that fit these curses on a high scale. No other race fit these curses besides us, which are the Israelites.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall lead.
So that's another curse. The Bible says, since we didn't keep the commandments, we're going to have an evil eye towards our brother. So what race of people would y'all say have an evil eye towards the same race of people? Black. It ain't even nothing hard to think about.
Not even close.
Not even close. You got gang violence, black on black crime, the rap. You even hear the music, how we the only race of people that's dissing each other dead homies. What other race of people do that? Diss each other dead homies? He's dead. Why you dissing him? That don't even make sense. And we the only race of people that call each other ops. You don't never hear a white man call another white man an op, or a Chinese man call another Chinese man an op. We only hear black people and Hispanics call each other ops. Because God said that we was going to have an evil eye towards each other. That's why there's so much hate in the black community. We hate each other.
In between everybody, mother and son,
right,
dad and father. If we go out somewhere and something happens and somebody step on our shoe, not y'all maybe, but certain other individuals, we get mad about that, boy. We ready fighting a whole bunch of other stuff. We have flipped the whole store, wherever we at, inside out, because something small like that. But if a white man do it, we gonna say nothing.
Right.
We be scared, because we got to think about, his parents might be a lawyer, they might be this, they might be that, because we know that they in a higher estate. But if it's somebody like us, we don't have no problem even going to the extent of taking this person's life away.
Right.
But he got a mom, an aunt, an uncle, a father, a little brother or sister, the same way that I do. But we just have no compassion into each other.
That's right. That's facts, though. We the only race of people that really hate each other like that. Like, you don't never hear Asian on Asian crime, Chinese on Chinese crime, or East Indian on East Indian crime. You don't really hear that, but you hear black on black crime. We fight each other over the simplest stuff. We might lose a game in 2K. Playing a game, he lose a game, he lose a bet, he lose a dice game. Now they ready to fight. We fight each other over the simplest stuff because God said that we was going to have an evil eye towards each other. Back then we didn't, because he said back then we was tender and delicate amongst each other. We made sure each other was straight. But since we didn't listen to what God said, it's we having an evil eye towards each other. What he said after that?
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And towards the wife of his bosom. So the Bible said the man also gonna have an evil eye towards the wife of his bosom. So that's why, a lot of so-called black relationships, they don't go long. It's not good. It's always arguing, fighting, people clothes thrown out the house, people getting their clothes burnt, because the Bible said the man is gonna have an evil eye towards his woman. And who else? Yeah, son.
Oh, Con. When you look at movies, what's the only people in movies that you see that glorify and put it on a high scale in front of our face? Violence towards one another in a marriage. Every Tyler Perry movie you look at, there's something like that in there.
With our people.
All of them. But you'll never see nothing about that about Chinese people. When you go to other countries, they don't even let them see stuff like that on TV or Instagram, because they'll change the algorithm and everything like that, because when they want them people growing up, they want them to think that, we are strong people, we cool, we're not supposed to hurt each other, we're not supposed to do this, we're not supposed to do that. for the exact same reason. You don't really see, Asians argue like that. Like y'all used to get y'all nails done at some sort of Asian spot at a certain point in time. You might see them talk to each other a certain way, but you'll never see it get physical in there. Never. Because in their mind, we in here to get money together. We can't be acting no fools and stuff like that. If we got a problem, we can go in the back and talk it out or do it when we at home. We don't do this and act crazy in front of each other or in front of other people. Because then what you gonna think in your mind? You gonna think that, oh, well, they don't got no togetherness. They not strong as a people, right?
That's facts. And even going back to the music, what race of people only talk about in their music? Scamming, robbing, murdering, what else? All type of crazy stuff. It's our people. Even if you see the music video, every time you see a music video of our people, the woman always twerking, the man always have a blunt or have guns, or he popping pills. A video of him scamming. We the only race of people that go through, like, that's in our community. You literally have our kids looking at that. Our kids really look up the Lil Baby, look up to Cardi B, look up to Megan Thee Stallion, look up to the Baby, Kodak. These kids really look up to them. So when they get older, they want to be like them. That's in our community because they gotta look up to something. Their dad not there. Then their mom, she working 3 or 4 jobs. You know what I'm saying? So now they gotta look up to somebody. So they looking up to these artists, and these artists ain't talking about nothing but destroying our people. And that's what they have to do if they want to be rapping and get money. Because if they talk about something like helping our people, productive, they're not gonna make no money. They're not gonna make it in the rap game. The rap game is not even about talent. It's about what you're willing to do. Are you gonna do what I tell you to do? Are you gonna talk about destroying your people? If they be like, yeah, they gonna make money. But if they talk about some real stuff on how our people, the Israelites, and how we in the last days, man, they ain't gonna make it in the rap game. They ain't gonna make it. But you have something?
I was just gonna say we the only people that call that culture too.
Right.
We the only people that act as if that's something we own and we do that. Like if somebody else white go out here and do what we do, we'll call them a culture vulture. We'll cancel them because they doing something that we claim is ours. But that's so dumb. If this person didn't really do nothing in the community, besides maybe give out turkeys on Thanksgiving or something dumb like that, something small, but they still promoting violence and everything else of the sort, then why are we making that person famous? Why are we giving them the credit that they deserve? And don't feel bad about it. We was at a point in time where we listen to certain music. I still listen to certain music. I can't even sit up here and lie. Later on, tomorrow, at some point in time, I'm gonna listen to G Herbo's new album. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I am. But I understand that everything in there isn't in the best interest for me. That I shouldn't try to go out there and live that lifestyle. That even around kids, I probably shouldn't play that type of music. Because then they gonna sing it, and their mouth gonna get foul, and they gonna wanna try this stuff in the music. So we gotta be a better example.
Right, and music also carries spirits. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to music, when you listen to a rapper every day talking about killing somebody, eventually you're gonna have that mindset.
You be mad.
You gonna put a damn ski mask on.
Yeah, you don't even know.
I forgot my prayer alarm. I forgot. But yeah, they walk around with ski masks on, but it's like nobody ain't trying to kill you, but it's the music that they listening to. They hearing about rappers talking about they got ops and they need to watch their back. So they on Albany State campus thinking somebody finna kill them and nobody even worry about them. Cause that's because music is very strong and the people that's over the music industry, they are Jewish people, they white people. So they understand that music is very powerful. That's why they push this music on our people. Like if you don't rap about pills, smoking, drinking, hoeing our women out, you're not gonna get a deal. So guess what our people gonna do? They gonna rap about it. And sometimes they might tell them to dumb their music down. They might be talking about some real stuff in the beginning of their time when they first start rapping, and then they be like, hold up, you gotta dumb that down. You know what I'm saying? You speaking too real. You gotta dumb it down. So then they start talking about crazy stuff, and they start making more money. That's how it be. You know what I'm saying?
Like either y'all listen to J. Cole, Kendrick, anybody like that.
I like J. Cole.
Yeah.
But even sometimes, if you notice on some of his albums, he has certain songs that's real. But he always got throw something in there to be like, this don't even sound like you, dog. You don't even sound like you want to talk about this.
Right.
You don't even sound like you want to talk about girls and cars and stuff like that. Because every time you outside, you be having a hoodie on, some slides and sweatpants. And you a millionaire. Right. You don't care about none of this stuff. You know you don't. We don't even see you outside.
Right.
But he has to do that to uphold a certain image. Right? And it's even sad to the point where now, when you look at life, the people that do that, they seen it so different. They seen as, oh, this person actually got manners. Y'all ever seen something like that? Somebody get surprised because somebody act like they at home training? Oh, shoot, he opened the door for ladies. He's such a gentleman. Everybody should do that. Why that's a big thing? or he pick his trash up when he leave. Just small stuff like that should be an everyday thing that we now see as up here. We see it as high, and it shouldn't be the case. We should all have some sort of decorum. Act like we got home training, now we civilized. Because y'all know just as well as I do. If some of these people's parents was here, they wouldn't be running down this campus like this. They got the black beat off of them.
Facts.
They mama and daddy did not raise nothing like this. So it's just important to remember some of that stuff.
Right, facts. You keep going on that. When he said after the woman.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
So the Bible said the man also gonna have an evil eye towards his children, which he shall lead. Now, what man? Think about all the different races on the earth. What man is known for leaving his children? Black man.
There be jokes about it.
Stereotypes, movies,
everything.
The man always leaving the household. Man, it's a lot of us on campus that didn't grow up with a dad. That's a curse in the Bible. The Lord said that was going to happen to the Israelites. You're like, since y'all didn't listen to me, because when you get into the Bible in Deuteronomy 28, the Lord had blessings for us and he had curses. If we would have did what he said, we would have got all those blessings that he said was promised to us. But our people chose to not do the right thing, and we got those curses that he said was going to happen to us. So that one of those curses was that we was going to grow up without a dad. And our parents got to go, our mother got to go, far beyond to make ends meet. Got to work 3 or 4 jobs. She barely getting any rest. Then when she come home, she got to go back to work to another job. That's only within our community. The Bible is literally talking about our people. It's literally talking to us. It's really our book. This book was written by our forefathers. These were written by so-called black men. But the whole time, we thinking the whole time it's a white man book. But when you get into it, it was written. Matter of fact, give me hold that. Give me Job 30 and 30 real quick. I'm finna show you real quick that it's not a black man book. Real quick. I mean, it's not a white man book. Okay. Job 30 and 30. So I'm finna show you what skin color Job was. And Adam and Eve as well. The Bible said they was created from the dust of the ground. How can they be white? If you look at the dust of the ground into the soil is dark. It's different shades of brown. So how can they be white when you see on movies? They got all the movies of Passion of the Christ, the Bible movies. They white people. The cast is white. They only might have one black person in the whole movie. But everybody in the Bible is like that. Yeah.
Job chapter 30 and verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
He said what?
My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat.
So Job said, my skin is black upon me. So he was a dark. Give me whip.
Hold on, you get that, King. I'm about to get exit.
Con. So he was a dark skinned man. He said, my skin is black upon me. But if you look up Job on the internet, a white man gonna come on. That's literally identity theft. They literally, all the people that look like us, they literally changes the images around to another race to try to fool us. But the Bible said his skin is black upon him, but you got it.
And this is the book of Exodus chapter 4 and verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom, and that's like your chest. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was full of snow. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. So essentially this would happen, right? Moses was out somewhere, he's trying to show Pharaoh and other different people that the Most High was with him. So he gave him signs that he was going to be able to do. One of those signs was he was going to go like this. Put his hand in his chest, take it out, and it said it became what? Leprous as snow. That means it's white. Snow white, everybody know that. But he did it again, and it changed back to the original color of his flesh. Now, if I was a pale skin, or if I was a fair skinned individual, when I did that, it wouldn't have been a big thing, right? Because it would have been closer to my skin color, it would have been closer to the color white. But the further away from white it is, the more it makes you look at it and be like, how he do that? So that's how you know Moses had to be black as well. He had to be of a darker skin complexion.
Right. And even going back to this Sons of Solomon going into King Solomon. Now King Solomon, he was the wisest king in Israel. He was the smartest, he was the richest man. We learned about Mansa Musa, right? But King Solomon was the richest man. He literally had gold. He had wealth. He was the smartest man. He knew everything. But let's see how he looked real quick. This Sons of Solomon 1 and 5. He said, I am black, but comely. So King Solomon, he was a dark-skinned man. He said, I'm black. You know how we say we black and beautiful? We the only race people that say that. I'm black and beautiful.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack. He basically saying, I'm black and comely. So we know that King Solomon was a so-called black man. But when you get into the Bible, you read like, dang. Matter of fact, ain't the Acts 13 and 1 when he said the word nigga in the Bible.
You want to pull it up on the blue letter?
My phone. I got a phone. That's the one. But they can look it up. Niger, the same thing as Negro. Nigga is black. But yeah, even I'm just showing that our people, these are our people in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? All these people in our Bible. That's why they give us Black History Month, the shortest month to talk about our history. And we learn about the same people every year. The same exact people we learn about every year. But it's like, it gotta be more. It gotta be more to our history. It can't be, it gotta be more. You're not telling me everything I need to know. And we can't, you said what?
I said it's impossible. Like, how is all these people dead that they telling us about? Don't nothing ever new happen with black people. Ain't nobody new in recent years ever did nothing. We always gotta learn about all of these other different people. They don't ever throw nothing new in there. But when it comes to somebody white, we see stuff about Elon Musk. We see stuff about people when they go into space, all types of stuff. They'll continue to feed you their new stuff, but they want us to think that, oh, the unity in which we had is something of the past. They want us to think that the way that we used to rock so hard for each other is something old. They like when we hit each other. They like when we kill each other. They like when we against one another. Because when it's like that, everything we do and want, we go to them. But we don't trust somebody else to do it.
That's facts. That's facts.
But it's Acts 13:1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon that was called Niger.
Niger, right? Spell it out.
It's Niger.
Right, so the prophets and teachers were called Niger. Now when you look into that word Niger, Niger, that word is Latin for black. So the prophets and teachers, so all the prophets in the Bible, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, all our forefathers in the Bible, they was called Niger. And that word Niger just means Latin for black. So the same way we get called niggas, the same way we get called black or Negroes, that's the same thing our forefathers was getting called back in. That's nothing new. That word Negro or Niger, that's not nothing new. Our people been getting called that. Back into the times of back in the ancient times. So now, you gonna bring it up? So, now real quick, let me show you all this real quick. And we can't, the thing about it is when you get into it, that's why we have to do our own research, because we can't depend on our oppressors to teach us about our history. They're not gonna tell you the real thing about your history. That's why we gotta look into this thing ourselves. Once you got it.
Yeah, you keep talking, I got you. But that's the word. And you see that it's in Acts 13:1. And if you go to it, it'll tell you what it means. And it means black. Listen how it said.
Strong's G 3526. Niger.
Now somebody call us that now, we be mad, boy.
Yeah, that's what our people, and that's what it was getting called as disrespect. Like the same way we get called that as disrespect now, that's the same way, that's the same thing they was getting called by other people as disrespect.
Strong's G 3526. Niger.
So, and that's for the proof to show that's our people. And that's why they go so hard to destroy our people, to destroy our image. That's why they go so hard to tell you that you just a nigga, that you just African American. That term came out in 1987. Jesse Jackson was the one that said, I don't want to call them, he said, I don't want to be called colored no more. I'm going to come up with something African American. That's what we call ourselves that. So the people that was born before 1987, they can't be African American. They was calling themselves colored. They wasn't African American back then. So that's why they go so hard to destroy our people, destroy our image. That's why they go so hard and they show these celebrities on TV killing themselves. You know what I'm saying? Twerking, shooting, robbing. They do that to destroy our people because they do not want you to wake up and realize who you is. Because once you wake up and realize who you is, they fear that. They don't fear us. They don't fear a man that got his pants sagging, showing his butt. They don't fear that. They don't fear a man with a Glock. They don't fear that. They fear an educated man that know who he is. When they see you knowing that when you got a Bible in your hand walking around, they fear that. They're like, oh, this nigga reading. Like, he knows something. But they don't fear you when you ain't got a blunt in your mouth. They don't fear that. But you got it.
I was just gonna say, why do you think they say if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book? They don't want us to be able to, know these certain things. Any of y'all ever heard of the Willie Lynch letter?
Look into it. It's on the internet. The Willie Lynch letter.
Man, my cousin got my book. I wish I had it. But you can find one on Amazon for like $5. It'll be real small. But when they first brought us over here on slave ships, they was having trouble keeping us contained. Because, black people, so-called black people, we got a little bit of, spice to us. We a little feisty. You're not just going to push us around, do nothing crazy to us.
Right.
So they was having trouble getting us to comply with slavery. And what they did was send a letter. This one dude named Willie Lynch, he wrote a letter back to them on basically how to treat and break down a slave. And it's called the Willie Lynch letter. And in there it said that, you can't let them breed. You have to figure out ways to break their mind but keep their bodies strong. Because that's what they had to do in slavery. They couldn't let us think, but they had to keep our bodies strong so that we could go out and work and pick cotton and do whatever else they asked us to do. And it's crazy, but you know, they use the same tactics on us that they use to break in horses when a horse act wild. That's why they call it buck breaking and everything like that. If a white man goes in and rapes a black man, and it get crazy. But they stopped us from learning though. That's why they coach you reading the Bible and reading it and kill you. Why do you think they didn't let slaves learn how to read and write?
Right.
If you really think about it, that could have benefited them. They could have had them reading and writing letters and stuff like that, but they didn't do it for a reason.
Right, and that's what he said. When you look into the Willie Lynch letter, it was a thing called butt breaking. Especially in Jamaica, they would take the biggest, strongest slave, and then the slave master rape him in front of everybody. So he'll weaken the black man. It goes back to the Willie Lynch letter. They did things to destroy our people. They'd take the woman from the man. He be in the field with his woman. The slave master come take him and rape her, and then give her back to him. That destroy our people. Because now she looking at the black man like, you can't protect me, you can't save me. You couldn't save me when that happened. Now she looking down upon him.
Hey.
That's all a plot towards our people. You got it.
Can you get a scripture where the woman ruled over them? Jeremiah,
Isaiah 24. Yeah, I got you.
Come on.
I got you. It's Isaiah chapter 3 and 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
All right. Can you go to 1 Corinthians 11?
Come on.
So we know that that's not supposed to be the natural order of things. We're not going to tell y'all that y'all can't, do things, because I was raised by a single black woman my whole life. I know that y'all make stuff happen for us all the time. Extremely strong, smart, and can do anything we can do in a sense. But you shouldn't have to if you don't need to. If you got a strong black man that's going to be there for you and going to provide and do different things like that, then you should. I'm not trying to get on y'all or nothing like that, but women could be emotional at times. Sometimes they act off emotion, and that could hurt rather than help. So that's why I'm supposed to be a man there to be able to mediate, calm things down, help, show y'all out in a sense when it's needed. Because one thing y'all got that we don't is intuition. Sometimes y'all just know when stuff gonna happen and we don't know how. But y'all to tell us, babe, I don't think you should go to the club tonight. Next thing you know, the club got shot up. Sometimes y'all just be knowing stuff and y'all save people from things like that. So you guys just have different things and abilities than we do. And that's why men and women are very beautiful. Two different people, but still got their own things that make us great. But we know that that's not supposed to be the natural order of things. So get that in First Corinthians.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and that the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God, or Yahweh.
Right, so that don't mean that we're supposed to rule over you like a tyrant. We're not supposed to be what the scriptures call a lion in the house. It's supposed to be a very loving, kind of yin and yang type thing that go on. You understand the things that you do better than me, and I understand the things that you do better than I. And sometimes it just work like that. That's why if something got to be picked up, or your tire pop or something like that, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be a man that can fix it. Now you guys might know how, but let's say you in the area, you in your hometown. Part of the reason why they used to break down men was so that they could have the woman in control.
Right.
They would flip the roles so that way the children would be scared of the man that he wouldn't be, because he knows that if anything, he the ones that they lead at. That's why the black man is upset that couldn't be in the house.
Right.
They didn't do that to everybody else, it's just us. But it's a reason why. You can get something, you see?
I got it. Because that's facts though. What he's saying, facts, and they understood that they understood how strong our families was. So they had to destroy us. They're like, okay, we got to find a way. Because if you chop off the head of the family, it's over with. It's gonna be crippled. So they understood we have to find a way to destroy these people. And the Bible gonna tell you that. The Bible gonna tell you exactly how they did it. But they had to find a way to get the man out of the household. And that's how they did. They got the man out of the household, and the woman got certain benefits when the man ain't in the household. It was sometimes the woman had to literally hide her husband when they come and check and see if he in there. They had to literally hide him so they'll get more benefits. That's what went on. Get that real quick.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right, so the Bible basically telling you how they did it. You know, y'all ever heard of the United Nations? How they all come together around this big round table and talk. The Bible basically saying they took crafty counsel against our people. So when we didn't know what they was doing, but behind closed doors, they were plotting against our people. How can we destroy these Israelites? How can we destroy them? Right? Keep going.
Verse 4. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance."
So that's how they did it. They was coming around. You had the Asian man, you had the Chinese man, we the only race of people that don't have no seat in the United Nations. So they all came together. They was like, how can we destroy these people, these Israelites? Then they was all coming up with ideas. It wasn't no one day thing. They probably was plotting on this for like months. How can we destroy these people? How can we get them to stop saying they Israelites? Then you had some people come up with ideas. Somebody raised their hand. Oh, let's make them call it. Let's raise their hand. Let's put crack in their communities. Let's put crack in their community so they can smoke and destroy themselves. Then somebody else raised their hand. Oh, let's give them a school system that don't tell them nothing about their history, nothing about where they come from. Then somebody else raised their hand. We gotta get the Israelite man out the household. So what can we do? Well, we can get them out. We can get a woman more money by telling them, we'll give you more money if the man's not in the household. So now our women don't need no man. They're like, man, I don't need you. If they're gonna give me more money, if you're not here, I don't need you. So that's why our women looking like, I don't need you. So they all came up with ideas to destroy our people, and they still do this to this day. But there's some more on that, King? Was that it?
Yeah.
So you got something?
Nah, I'm gonna bring that up.
All right. You want 20 to 48? Let me get it.
68.
No, 48, 40.
Oh,
So yeah. So that 20 to 48. So that was basically going into how it was a plot against our people, and still to this day they do that. Their job is to keep us at the bottom of society and not knowing who he is. Because this is how the Bible works. Once we wake up, and now all of us not gonna wake up. The Bible said 2/3 of our people not gonna make it. So a lot of our people gonna die. That's what the Bible said. But 1/3 of our people gonna wake up. So their job is to not let us know who he is. So their job is to keep us in sin. That's why. So in this world, would y'all say this world is full of light or full of darkness? It's darkness. Literally, we killing each other. It's like a nightmare. Our people killing each other. Women getting snatched up. You know what I'm saying? Sex trafficking going on. We eating GMO foods. We eating fruit that don't even have seeds in it. We ain't eating real chicken. Chicken ain't this big. Like, it ain't no real. That's not real chicken. We really going through it in this society. So their job is to keep us down and keep us in sin. Because once if we continue to stay in sin, they're gonna continue to rule over us, and they understand that.
You might get that at Judah 3?
Yeah, Judah 3. Is that Judah 3?
Yeah.
So once we wake up and realize that we God's chosen people and that we Israelites, they understand that, oh, their rulership finna be over with. Because once we wake up, the Lord gonna fight for us. But since we're not doing what he commanded us to do, we're gonna still be at the bottom. You sure that's 3? 2. That's 3 and 1. 4. Hey, Judah, that's Judah.
I don't know, I think it's 5.
5.
It's 5.
Yeah, 5.
It's just 5.
Right. So this what when we get Judah 5 and 3rd. I get matter of fact, look. This Judah chapter 5 and this book right here is called the Apocrypha, y'all wonder. This book is called the Apocrypha, and it just means hidden books. And there's 14 books in this Bible that was taken out. There's 14 books in this book that was taken out the Bible, which originally supposed to be in there, but it was a man named Martin Luther. He was not Martin Luther King, but his name was Martin Luther. He had basically said these books weren't meant to be in there, so he took them out. But these books are literally part of the Bible. Like if you get the King James 1611 version, the Apocrypha is already in there. It's already in there because that was one of the first books translated, right? So they took it out. And which one you want? 11 and 5 and 1.
You start at 17.
17. So this Judah chapter 5 and verse 17.
Hold on. But this is proof that when we sinned, we was in a bad state. But when we didn't, we was cool.
Right. And when they sin not before their God, they prospered, because God that hated iniquity was with them. But when they depart from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives in a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, their cities were taken by the enemies.
Right, so y'all ever heard of like the whole 70 AD thing where the second temple was burnt down in Rome and all that good stuff?
You probably ain't heard about it.
All right, well, don't you know Solomon had a temple, you know about that? All right, well, Solomon, you know about King David though, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, he had a son named Solomon. And Solomon had this big old beautiful temple, a whole bunch of gold everywhere and stuff like that. But then that eventually got destroyed. But then it got built again at a point in time. And then like right around the time of Christ, it got taken down and destroyed again. But that's why we don't got no temple to go to do some of this stuff now. But it said that while we sinned, we didn't prosper. But when we did, except backwards. While we sinned, we didn't prosper. But when we was righteous, we were straight. Right? Nobody could come take us out of our land. How do you think that people went and got us from Africa and different places like that? A place that we run. A place where we got all the natural resources. Even when you heard about COVID, different things like that, that stuff didn't affect them. It didn't affect some of those places. They was out there eating natural, doing everything else they normally do. If you go to Africa, certain different, what they call third world countries, everybody be healthy, they be skinny, they be strong as an ox. There be people that's 80 years old, still working, but you won't see a clinic, a pharmacy, or a doctor's office for miles. But yet, we allow these people that's not stronger than us, faster than us, or smarter than us to come to a land in which we dwell in and take us away. And the only way from what that just said, this could be from what? Sin. Because the scriptures say that the laws are a long life, that they're the steps of our life. But
and it's basically like a movie too. All it is like a movie. When y'all do it, the Lord said, when y'all do what I say, y'all can have anything y'all want. But we didn't do that. We broke the commandments of God, and now we in this situation. And they understand that. We the only race of people that don't know who he is. Don't think that those white people, those them elites, those people in office, they know who he is. We just don't know who he is. They know we the Israelites. We just don't know that. And that's why it's so much stuff they do to destroy us. We've been calling ourselves black for how long? We've been calling ourselves African American for how long? They know who he is, and they know how to keep us down. They understand that the God of the Bible is going to fight for us when we do what he say. They understand that. They know that better than we do. They know, best believe they read this Bible front and back, about probably like 15, more than 100 times. So they know how to destroy it. They know our weakness. Just like when you get into just like when you watch Superman, his weakness is kryptonite. And they know that. People know his weakness is kryptonite, so they're going to give him kryptonite to weaken him. So they know our weakness is sin. So that's why it's so much sin pushed in this community. In America, it's so much sin. You can literally do whatever you want to do here. And they push that to destroy our people, to mess our people up in the mind, to the point where you don't even care who you is. We literally told a brother that just walked by, we told him that he was an Israelite, that he's God's chosen people. He said, no, I'm black. Our people would rather be a color out of crayon box than be what God called them, right? Matter of fact, give me, I got it. What you got? I get this. You got, Joy. You got this. But that could be what?
I'm not trying to get that. I'm trying to get
Yeah, 2 and 30, I'm already there.
I was just going to get that for us.
But this, you got it. Well, you get 4 and 28 too, that's all.
I mean, you are, for whatever reason, I can get to it.
But this Baruch chapter 2 and 30, this is what God said. He said, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. So the Bible said he knew that we wasn't going to remember ourselves because we are a stiff-necked people. The Bible said that in Hosea 4 and 6, the Bible said we are hard-headed. Our people are very hard-headed. We gotta hear things 3 or 4 times for us to get right.
We the only people that grow up hearing sayings that a hard head make a soft ass.
Right. We very hard-headed and stiff-necked. So the Bible said that he knew he wasn't going to listen because we were stiff-necked. But he said in the land of our captivity, we was going to remember ourselves. And that's what's going on right now. We are literally in the land of our captivity. Our forefathers literally was brought up here on slave ships, and we still here to this day. So the Bible prophesied that we was going to hear, we're going to remember ourselves. So that's why we here in America. It ain't even just in America. We have our people in Africa remembering themselves. People in the UK remembering themselves. Now we waking up and remembering that we Israelites. And that's prophesied in the Bible. We waking up and remember, we ain't calling ourselves black no more. What Kendrick Lamar say, he said, I'm an Israelite, don't call me black no more. That word is only a color, that ain't facts no more. You know what I'm saying? We not black, we not African. And give me Revelation 12. Let me get it. Revelation 12 and 12 for that one.
12 and 12.
Yeah. Because these times are coming real soon. You know what I'm saying? Hey, destruction coming to America. This place is gonna fall. Babylon is America. When you read about Babylon in the book of Revelation, it's talking about America. Babylon is that place, it's America, that harlot that they talk about. And this place gotta be destroyed. America is gonna be destroyed for what it done to God, what he done to God's chosen people. This place have literally destroyed our people to the point where they don't even care who they is. Our people don't sit down and think, what are we being taught? Why are we not getting taught about our history? Why are we the only race of people that are not getting taught about this stuff? Every other race of people, when you go to their country, they taught about their history. We don't know nothing about our history here. Cause this is coming, man. This is coming. The Bible been speaking about it since the beginning of time. Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, John. Hey, he been speaking about these times to come. This is really coming to America. Have y'all ever seen The Purge? Yeah. That's gonna be something that's coming, and that's why they put it in your face so you can already, when it hits, you can already done seen it before. That's coming to America. The Bible said that this place gotta fall. In order to be saved from this stuff, is to come back to God and keep His commandments. Your Glock ain't gonna be able to save you. Your mama not gonna be able to save you. Your dad not gonna be able to save you. The only person that's gonna be able to save you from destruction that's coming is the Most High God. We gotta be on this good side. Have y'all ever seen the movie Book of Eli? Y'all ain't never seen that? It was on Netflix with Denzel Washington. He basically was going around carrying the Bible the whole time. Y'all gotta watch it, man. It's very spiritual. But y'all look into it though.
Blind the whole time.
Blind the whole time. Right.
You know, that's actually a sign in the scriptures that say that at one point in time that a prophet was called a seer, and a sign that they were a seer was for them to be blind. But this Revelations 12 and 12.
Right.
Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he hath but a short time. So that's why people that say certain things like, the further that times go on, as years go on, stuff get worse and worse for that. It's not just because, it's because God understands that we're on a time clock that we don't necessarily know about. So of course things are going to speed up. You want the,
Yeah, get more for me. But yeah. So, and it's crazy because we've been taught that we in the last days our whole life. My grandma been saying that. But we in the last days. We in the last days, you need to get right. But me, I'm like, we've been saying that for a minute. But once you literally watch these times, matter of fact, after you get that, go to Matthew 24. Because we literally living in these times. Yeah, go to that. Matter of fact, go to Matthew 24 and 37 where we finna get up. But we literally, when you watch the news and you see this stuff that's hurricanes going on, famines, it's literally around the world, people ain't having no food. And it's gonna eventually come here, it just haven't hit here yet. You go to any of these countries, you will see they catching hell right now. But America's gonna be that country that's gonna get it last. And it's crazy because a lot of people think America not gonna fall. A lot of people got that American pride. They come up here to live the American dream. They leave their country and come over here to live the American dream. They come here to try to be Americans, but they don't understand that America's on a time limit. It's literally gonna be on a time limit because they're gonna have to be judged for everything that is done to our people. God didn't forget about slavery. He didn't forget about segregation. He didn't forget about Black Wall Street. He didn't forget about the Trail of Tears. He didn't forget about none of these things. God is just waiting. He's very long suffering. He's gonna wait on the right time to punish this place, right? You got something, King? You had that Mark 24?
I got you.
Yeah, my bad, Matthew.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 37.
Bring it up.
But as the days of Noah, and that's Noah,
Sure.
so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hold up real quick. So the Bible said as the days of Noah was, it's going to be the same day as the Son of Man. Now, have y'all ever read the book of Noah? Or have y'all ever read about Noah?
I think I have.
You have? Y'all have?
Yeah.
How he was building the ark. And he was warning people. He was letting them know, hey, it's finna rain. It's finna flood. But you had people still doing what they want to do. You know, I'm not finna listen to that nigga. That nigga been saying it was finna flood for 20 years. I'm not finna listen to him. So that's the same thing that's going on right now. The Lord sent us out here. It wasn't like one day we woke up and be like, you know what? Let's go to Albany State and bring the word out. No, the Lord put it on our spirit to do this, to warn our people. Because when you get into the Bible, right, before the Lord destroyed any kingdom, He always sent His messengers out to warn people. So they couldn't say they didn't know. So He sent us out here to warn our people and letting our people know the times that's coming. Because the church not going to tell you this. I was going to church my whole life. I never heard I was an Israelite. I never heard that Christ was a black man. All I seen was white images of Christ.
Yep.
That's all we see. And it's like, we wasn't taught that all this stuff coming. We wasn't taught that we're in the last days. We wasn't taught none of these things. So once you wake up and realize who you is, you start reading, it's like, dang, this book is talking about our people. Right? This book is talking about our people. So you keep going on that, King. You jotted it?
Nah, I got it. If you hold Revelations 20:12 though.
Yeah, I got you.
But that's why a lot of our people don't believe in everything it's a lie. Because nothing is ever catered towards us. It's always about white people, or they think that it was made by a white man or anything like that. But it's to the contrary, it wasn't. It's just all about perspective and how you learn about it and what somebody actually bring out to you. Like in Revelations 1 and 3, it say, blessed is he who read it. But a lot of us have never really read though. We'd rather take the information that somebody else gives us and just take it as law without really knowing. Which is why as we get older, we don't go to church no more. We don't do those different types of things. But if you would start reading, you'd be like, damn, this kind of makes sense. A lot of this stuff, them people was in there lying. Like them up. So it's just important, you know, for us to do our part, or for y'all to do your part as well. And it don't take a lot. It just take a little bit here and there. You're going to start to see certain things and be able to piece the puzzle together. Well, you get that Revelation 20, 12.
Yeah. This book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works.
And that's Revelation, the last book of the Bible now. So it's talking about the destruction, when everything else is coming. Now when it's time for everybody to be judged in that final judgment. And it says that you're going to be judged according to what?
Your works.
Right, your works. So that could be, you know, keeping the laws or not keeping the laws. You know, it could be how you treat individuals. It could be anything. But it's just your part to...
If you save person.
You said who?
If you're saved.
And that's
yeah.
You can get that, I get it. Matthew 24 and 13, because that's the thing. We've been taught that we already saved. But you think about it.
No, that's not all it's taught.
What you been taught?
You gotta be born again.
Born again. Okay,
Born
that's
like
part of it.
Like saying, but you don't, everyone's born a sinner. That's because
Yeah.
they're probably get past. So
Right.
everyone's born a sinner, and then basically you can walk this earth, do whatever you feel like, you know. But if you believe that, you know, Jesus Christ and stuff like that, but you have to be saved. You have to be saved, and then that's when you can you go by the right things to do. You try when you basically you putting yourself around doing good, and, you know, like, you know, doing it to do. That's when you start to, you know, feel it's more that you're more in the closer to God.
Yeah, matter of fact, okay, give me Matthew 24 and 13. Because that's the thing. We also been taught that, you know, they say you got to be saved. But when you, matter of fact, get that 24 and 13.
I got you.
I'm finna show y'all something.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Right, so the Bible says you endure to the end, that's when you're going to be saved. Because we're not saved, but we're going to know that we saved at the end. So we have to endure all this stuff to come to the end. Have y'all ever heard of UFOs? UFOs? Those are talked about in the Bible. They are literally called chariots, though. And y'all ever heard swing low, sweet chariots in church? When they say swing low, sweet, y'all ever heard that?
Nope.
You ain't never heard that song? Well, it's talking about these.
I don't know. I ain't heard that song.
You ain't never heard swing?
You might not hear it in church, but it's like an old song.
Like
Like,
Negro,
it's
like a Negro
my grandma
spiritual.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to be in chorus, so we had sung that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense now, because chorus is going to teach you the blast.
That's
You know, like,
yeah.
okay.
And think about it. What they talking about? Swing low, sweet chariots. They talking about these so-called UFOs. They're originally in the Bible called chariots. Like y'all seen that Jordan Peele movie? Nope. They got them in the movie.
Was that good? I ain't see that.
It was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
I gotta watch that movie. I ain't see it yet.
I ain't watched it either though. I ain't watched it.
Well,
But-
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it though. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. But they put it in your face. They know. They done seen. They done best believe they done took notes of UFOs in the sky. These are actually the chariots of the God. These are gonna be the things that's gonna deliver us in these times. You're gonna literally see people getting beamed up in these things. Like y'all ever seen Chicken Little? He was like a prophet. He was basically telling people, hey, the sky. Then it actually happened. And it was literally them in it was those things in the movie, but it was aliens driving them.
What is it?
It's like a UFO.
You wanna get
Like alien type stuff?
They put them
Like
in
ET?
movies,
something like that.
but it's actually angels driving those things though. It ain't really aliens driving them, it's angels driving them. But they show you in movies, it's aliens, green men driving them. No, those are gonna be our ticket out of here. They're gonna be the ones that's gonna be beaming people up. Like you might be running, right? And you might see somebody getting beamed up in one of those things. It's gonna be thousands up in it. It's gonna be
I've
thousands
seen
of them.
movies like that though.
That's where they get it from.
Yeah.
You gotta think about it. All these movies that we see in Hollywood, right? They got the movies from somewhere. Yeah, facts. And they got these movies from the Bible. These are our stories. It's crazy. Our people are so unique. They gotta steal stuff from us. Like they literally stole our history and made it like they switched it up a little bit, but they put it in movies of our history.
Hold on, I got a couple of them.
All right, baby. Ezekiel 1 about the angels.
Yeah,
I got you.
I'll get
guys, you can get that 1 and 5. Ezekiel 1 and 5 first.
Nah, I'm gonna get this first. And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall
You read that. I'm sorry. What's
You good.
Nah, he's right, I got you. This Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then shall the end come. So if you think, right, Christianity, things like that, and Jesus, all that stuff is taking over the whole world. You got churches you can go to in Asia, and they'll be over there. You got churches you can go to in Africa, and they'll be over there. So eventually you got to ask yourself, if this has already made its way everywhere, then why ain't the end came yet? It must be something that's different from that in order for, it to be the truth that has to get spread across everywhere.
Thank you.
That's facts though.
Be careful.
Remember some signs.
We'll get that Ezekiel.
33 and 33.
We need that real quick.
All right. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass, Lord will come. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. That's mean.
Right. So when certain things happen, eventually you're gonna be like, damn, somebody talked to me about this before. Somebody spoke about this. And that's why it's very important to, pay attention and at least got right, or they told me I should have did this. And I was the one that got left behind. Kind of like how people say you gotta get right before you get left.
Right. And that's gonna I get some real quick. That's gonna happen. A lot of people gonna try to call upon the Lord when they literally seeing this stuff that's happening. When they really seeing it's a famine, because the Bible speaks about famine food. Like these places that we go to get food, it's not gonna always be here. Zaxby's not gonna always be here. Chick-fil-A not gonna always be here. All this stuff that we see is temporary. So a lot of people you're gonna literally have, I gotta say it's gonna get real. You literally gonna have a lot of people eating each other. Because think about it, it ain't gonna be no food. So you're gonna have people eating each like the Walking Dead. They got that from the Bible. People literally gonna be eating each other. I'm gonna prove that after I get this. And it's gonna get bad out here. But it's Amos chapter 8 and verse 11.
Are you serious? I'm just saying right now. Are we gonna be allowed to see this show?
We're gonna be here. Lord willing.
Well, we don't know.
21, like, you know what I mean? Like 21.
We don't know necessarily. We
don't know.
Yeah, we can't put a time limit on it because it say that nobody knows the day or the hour. But we just say that, when you look at this stuff that's going on around, that, it's better to know than to not know. Or to have it and not need it than, to need it and not have it type of deal.
Yeah.
Right. And also how we know that we in these last days, because we don't know the day and the time of the hour when he coming back. But when you read Matthew 24, he basically give you a list of things that you will see in the world to know that he's close.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. So that's how we know, just by some of these things that we see, we can get some of them, but some of these things that we see on the earth, we know that he's literally close. Like, and think about it, the Bible been saying he was close, like, way back when. So he got to be close to even now. He got to be close to even now. But check this out. This Amos 8 and 11. He said, behold the days come, says the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land. Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. And they shall run to and fro to seek the words of the Lord, and shall not find it. So it's gonna be a famine of the Bible. Like, and nobody ain't really worried about the Bible right now. You don't like my brother said earlier. You ain't never seen nobody get robbed for a Bible. I'm finna rob that nigga. That nigga got a King James version.
Hey, but recently I heard that happened to two people though.
What do y'all?
King James.
Y'all King James? Okay. But everyone is. That's my whole thing. When people get a Bible or whatnot, they be getting different types. So like, what is the difference between us? Like, we do King James too.
Right.
Like, what's really like the difference between the Bible? Is it
Sometimes it's wording.
the wording?
Yeah.
They be saying thou, though.
Yeah, that's.
I'll be like.
That's the first one translated though.
Yeah, so that's the difference, right? So the further away you get from something, the more they can play with it and tamper with it. So the closer you get, then the more chance you have of it being real and authentic. So like.
So they say King James is more closest.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that's why now I don't got my 1611, but if I had that in there, then I wouldn't have the need this apocrypha, because the apocrypha would be included in here.
Right.
But then as you go throughout time, it's not. So they start to take things out, change it, modernize it. And you're not really supposed to be changing the words of the Lord like that. Because one thing could mean a completely different thing. If I take one word out of a sentence, that could change the whole meaning. Right? So that's usually the difference that we tend to see Now, of course, we could go to Hebrew or Greek, but we don't know that all the way. So I probably couldn't do that. I'm working on it, but I don't right now. But yes,
Right. And what I was gonna say something. Yo, even when you look into King James, we was taught that King James was a white man, but King James was actually a black man. He was actually a king during the Dark Ages when we was ruling Europe for 1,000 years. He actually was a king during that time, but we taught that he's a white man. So that's why also you can get the KJVA app on the App Store. The KJVA, and that part, the Apocrypha is built in it. Like it's part of it, so you can read the books in the Apocrypha with the KJVA app. So I just want to say that in case y'all wanted to get it or not. But yeah, the King James version is the closest one to actually being, accurate. But it's some words like how the language that they use, that's like they slang. They say thou. That's just the slang that they use. But that's how you know it's talking about our people. We the only people that use slang. You know what I'm saying? You got to really get into it to really see, like, dang, what are you talking about?
that's what the Bible too. Hold on.
Right.
I got you.
But let me get it to you. Let me read this. It's Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. He said, "Behold, the days come, says the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to east. And they shall run to and fro, and seek the words of the Lord, and shall not find it." So you literally gonna have people literally looking for a Bible. One Bible now is gonna be like gold. If they find a Bible on the ground, it's gonna be like gold. So you're gonna have people literally searching to and fro, going sea to sea to try to find the words of life. And you're gonna have people looking for us, men like us. They're gonna be like, dang, what them dudes that they were trying to tell us? Where them dudes that they were telling us that destruction coming? Because you have a lot of people that walk by here every day. Be like, yo, y'all got 2 minutes? Nah, I don't got time for the Lord. I don't got time for that. I'm finna go. Man, they're gonna be the same people that's gonna be looking for us in that time. The Bible said that. The Bible said they're gonna be looking for it. They're gonna come to the same exact spot, but we not gonna be here. Cause we not gonna always be out here. It's only temporary that we out here waking our people up. Cause the Lord said that.
I'm sorry. Do you have an Instagram? We have to go. But
Oh yeah.
Do you have is it on here?
It's on the YouTube on the back, other side.
So YouTube?
Yeah. It's on Obadiah. That's my YouTube. Obadiah on the card.
Okay. I want to know.
I think
Okay.
I don't know. I might follow you on Instagram. Y'all can see that.
But yeah. But people gonna be searching to and fro for the words of life, but it's not gonna be there. It's gonna be a famine on the words. So when that's why I take my Bible everywhere, because I never know when. What's up, King? You good? Hey, all praise.
Got that on, bro.
Hey, not too long. We've been out here for a minute.
Look.
All right. But yeah, we're gonna. So it's.
Follow her too.
What's your name?
Ari and Bree.
All right, Bria, nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So that's why it's important for us to be able to read, to get to know this knowledge now, because in the time of the Greeks, and it's crazy too. This is how we know this Apocrypha is part of the Bible, because when you get into the Bible talks about all the captivities that our people was in, but it don't mention the Greek captivity. But that's why you need the Apocrypha when you read First Maccabees and Second Maccabees in this book. It goes into the Greek captivity on how our people was under captivity of the Greeks. We was literally captives of the Greeks, and it was a time where if they caught you reading the Bible, they would kill you, and they would burn your Bibles. And those times are coming back to this place. If they catch you reading the Bible, they're gonna try to kill you. You're gonna have a lot of people be martyrs for the Lord, meaning like they're gonna risk their life, they're gonna die for the Lord. And a lot of prophets died for the Lord. A lot of our forefathers died for the Lord, and that's something that we're gonna have to do that's coming up. But we understand that we gotta always think about this too. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Like it's something greater than this. When you read the book of Revelation, it tells you how the kingdom of heaven looks. Like pure gold. It's gonna be a heaven for us. We're not gonna have to work 9 to 5s no more. We're not gonna have to wake up and our back hurting. We're not gonna wake up and start me coughing because we sick. We're not gonna get sick. The Bible said we're gonna have immortal bodies. We're not gonna die in the kingdom of heaven. It ain't gonna be no aging and you get sick and you die of old age. That's not gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven. The Lord said, was that Luke? Hold up real quick. Let me get that. Let me get that. Well, you got something, King? Let me get that. I know that's Luke when he said, it is his good pleasure to give us the kingdom of heaven. Hold up, was that Luke 12? Luke 12 and 32? Yeah. This is Luke 12 and 32. You got it?
No, you got it.
He said, "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So the Lord want to give us the kingdom of heaven. He built it up just for us. But all we got to do is keep his commandments and come back to him. That's how we get the kingdom of heaven. We're not going to get the kingdom of heaven by doing whatever we want to do. We got to come back to our God and do what he's saying, what he commanded us to do. Did you ask something, King?
You get Judges 12 and 16.
Judges 12 and 16?
Yeah. I'm going to show y'all the whole slang thing.
Judges 12. It's the book of Judges, chapter 12 and verse 16. And he said, 12 and 16? Yeah. No, Judges 12 and 16. It might be Joshua. About the slang. Hold up real quick. Chapter 12 and 16. It's the book of Joshua, chapter 12. No, I ain't seen it. But let me, while he getting that, let me show y'all something real quick. In this book, and it's one reason why they took this book out of the Bible. Let me get this real quick. It's Second Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 6 and verse 54. And he said, and after these Adam also whom thou made Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. So everybody comes from Adam, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So it show you right there that the Lord has their chosen people. The Lord chose us. He could have chose any other race to be his chosen people, but he chose the blacks and Latinos. He chose us to be his chosen people. He could have chose any other race, but he chose us. And check this out. And he said, and he said, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou made the world for our sakes. So he made this world that you see, he made this world for our sakes. But the reason why the land is so polluted, why the water is so polluted, why it's chemtrails in the sky, is because we're not ruling this world right now, because we didn't listen to God. We broke his laws and commandments. So now instead of us ruling, you have our oppressor ruling over us. And he said, as for the other people, now the Bible finna tell you how he feel about the other people that are not Israelites. He said, as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou have said that there are nothing, but be like unto spittle, as liken the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to borrow us. So basically what he's saying is, that's why, you know how you have like some white people, they look down on you. They think they better than you. But the Bible actually said they like spittle. Now spittle is like spit. Like if you talking and spit come out your mouth, the Lord said that's how they are. But we're not taught. That's why they tell us that everybody equal. Because when you talk that you equal to them, you're not gonna think that you better. There's nothing wrong to think that you better, because the Bible said, matter of fact, let me go get that again. This Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Lord chose us to be above all people that's upon the face of the earth. So that's like I said before, that's why we're not taught here that that we're above everyone. Cause we supposed to think about it. We literally come from kings and princesses. Like our people literally ruled Europe for 1,000 years. We literally had, when you read the book about first kings and second kings, it's literally going into all the kings that we had. We wasn't like how we is now. We wasn't, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't, what I want to say. We wasn't as, you know what I'm trying to say? We was more, I ain't what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna say it like this. Today's time, we don't have what we had back then. Our gold and stuff been stolen from us. All our stuff that was built up been thrown down and burnt down. So we don't really have what we had now. Our mindset that we had back then, we don't have that mindset no more. Our language, we don't speak Hebrew no more. English is new. Like we wasn't speaking English back then. That's why we was called the Hebrew Israelites, because our language is Hebrew. That's the language that we spoke before we came over here. And y'all ever seen Roots? When he was like, it was a scene where he was whooping him. He said, your name Toby. He was like, no, my name Kunta. He like, no, your name Toby. He was whooping him until he said his name was Toby. And that's how they did us. We still got our slave master last name. Johnson, Carter, Davis, Jackson, them all slave master last names. And we still got those last names, which prove that we still their property. How can we be free? Like we always talk that we free. How can we be free and we still here in, in the land that we was brought captive in?
That's why Malcolm X put the X on his last name.
Right. Cause he didn't want to be. Yeah. Matter of fact, you got something. Let me get this real quick. Let me show them something real quick. This Deuteronomy. If you had something, let me know. This Deuteronomy 28 and 48. He said this is another curse that God said was going to happen to the Israelites. He said, therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. So the Bible said, since we didn't listen to God, we're going to have to serve our enemies and our oppressor in hunger. So where y'all like to go eat at?
Seafood.
Seafood, right? What about you, sis? Home. All right, where you get the food from? From your refrigerator?
Walmart.
Who own Walmart?
I have no idea.
Whole bunch of
A white man.
Think about it. The Bible said we're gonna have to go to them in want of everything. I mean, in want of hunger. So that's why when we want Chick-fil-A, they making money. We don't own Chick-fil-A. We don't own Zaxby's. We don't own McDonald's. We don't own KFC. We don't even own A-Town. You know what I'm saying? We don't own none of those things because the Bible said this was gonna be a curse. When y'all get hungry, y'all not gonna be able to go to y'all own people. And even though we do have black-owned businesses, who we pay our taxes to? Right, man. It's like, bro, they still making money off us because we still in captivity.
Oh, what you gonna keep going on that?
Yeah, I was gonna keep going. You will. He said, and in thirst. So what y'all like to drink?
Sweet tea.
You said sweet tea, cranberry juice.
She lying. She mixed some with the sweet tea. It's all good. Though.
But hey, think about it though. We don't own none of that. We don't own sweet tea. We don't own cranberry juice. We don't even own the water. We gotta pay. Why we have to pay for water? That's a natural resource.
And water is the most expensive thing that you can get.
That's what I'm saying.
We gotta pay land taxes for land they put here. That's never made sense to me.
Water bill. We gotta pay a water bill.
That comes from the earth.
That comes from the earth. He said the Lord said, man, y'all gonna be going through it. And he said, and in nakedness, where y'all gonna get y'all clothes?
A little bit everywhere.
But we don't own we don't own almost none of them stores we go to. None of them. We don't own them all. We don't own J.C. Penney's. We don't own Claire. We don't own Adidas. Even going back to it,
Kanye doesn't
Kanye.
really own Yeezy.
Yeah.
But that's still through Adidas. Same thing with Jordan and
Right.
a whole bunch of other individuals. It might say their name on the shoe so they can use their face and market as branding, but they don't really own it. So we still getting crumbs from the master's table. Like what it say in Luke. Lazarus and the poor man.
Yeah.
That's really what that's about. How we get crumbs from them. But if you think about it, we make all these industries rich. When you look at certain people, like, don't you know, you ever seen the thing how it say, like, I don't think Steve Jobs used Apple. He didn't let his kids use it around people that own McDonald's. They wouldn't let them eat it. So they had served this stuff to us, but we make it popular. We'd be the ones that, you know, would post everything and make them rich on something they don't even use. That they don't even like for real. But it's people that's worth way more than all of us. But they walk around in some Wrangler shorts and flip-flops and something from Walmart and all that. But we, you know, go broke to look rich. That's backwards. But we don't own nothing though.
And that's facts. And I say this all the time. Out of all this cotton we picked here, we can't get no free shirt. Out of all this cotton we picked for America, we can't get no free shirt. We can't get no underwear. No socks. We still paying for that?
We don't even get discount.
We don't get no discount. Like, dang, like, bro, we just, you know what I'm saying? We picked all this cotton for y'all. We can't get no free jacket? That's madness. But it's some more than that, King. That's crazy. All right, I'm tripping. I just dropped. I'm tripping. But what he also said, I'm gonna keep reading on. This how you know it's talking about our people. He also said, he said, and in want of all things. So the Bible said y'all gonna have to serve y'all oppressor in anything y'all think about. If y'all want a driver's license, where y'all go to get y'all driver's license? And we don't own that.
And the license don't even drive no car for real. I know plenty of people driving without one.
Right. If you want that new iPhone, you gotta go to Apple. We don't own Apple. You want that new Jeep, you gotta go get it from the where you go get the Jeep? From the car place. And we don't own the car place. Man, education. We don't. That's talking about our people. He said, anything that you think about, you gotta go to them. They literally over you. They got their foot on our neck. And he said, matter of fact, the Bible finna say that. And it said, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed you. So the Bible said, my bad, King. He said he gonna put a yoke of iron upon our neck. So we the only race of people that had a yoke of iron upon our necks. This is literally talking about our people. This is our history in the Bible. The Bible is black history, and it means basic instruction before leaving earth. That's what Bible basically means. Basic instruction before leaving earth. This Bible literally got everything in it. It got, it basically teach you how to live. And the reason why this world is in so much darkness right now is because we're not living by this book. Matter of fact, can you give me Leviticus 19 and 17, King? If we, think about this. If we all decided, let's stop what we doing and let's live by this one verse right here. This one verse right here alone will stop black on black crime, will stop gang violence, will stop single parent households. By this one verse right here. By this one verse right here.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, and verse 17.
Bring it out.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
Right, so the Bible says you're not even supposed to hate your brother in your heart, or hate your sister in your heart. And that's what we do. We hate on each other. Or that nigga think he clean with the new Jordans on. Who he think he is? Oh, she think she look good with her hat is. Why she always posting with her hat is? We hate each other. But the Bible said, and we supposed to love each other, man. And we see each other doing wrong, we supposed to let each other know. Now, we all decided as Israelites, man, let's stop what we doing and let's love each other. It won't be no more black on black crime. We won't be killing each other. It won't be no more gang violence. We killing each other over a block we don't even own. We don't own O Block. We don't own. Why we going so hard for a block we don't even own?
Matter of fact, I think somebody just bought it.
Somebody just bought it. We don't own that. And the Bible says we have to rebuke each other. Instead of laughing at each other when we do wrong, we gotta let each other know when we doing wrong. We can't have each other out here looking dumb out here. You know, the Bible says we're supposed to let each other know. Hey, if I see somebody in wrong, hey, my brother, hey, you don't need to be doing that. You know, I love you. I'm telling you because I love you. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We ain't supposed to just see each other, and that's what our people do. This is why we are the greatest. We are the greatest people on the face of the planet. But we at the bottom of society because we're not living by this. Now, give me Leviticus chapter 11. Now think about this, because sister, she like seafood, right? Let me show you something real quick. Because the Bible has a dietary law, right? Y'all know what dietary law is? A dietary law is basically certain things, certain foods that you can and can't eat, certain meats basically, for our health, for health reasons. So the Bible it also goes into your health. Because think about it, our body is a temple. Your body is literally a temple. The Lord dwells inside all of us out here, man. He dwells inside of us. So there's certain things that he said that we're not supposed to do to our temple to protect us and not get us sick. Because if you look on the charts, black people are high, number one on high blood pressure, diabetes. We number one on we literally number one on the list. And this is the reason why. Because we don't know it though, but we eating foods that are
It's book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
So y'all know what swine is? That pig. The Bible said it don't chew the cud. The pig, if you look into history on a pig, you not supposed to be consuming a pig.
A pig will eat anything. Anything you throw in the trough, a pig will eat. It was actually it was just one episode on what's that stuff called? Criminal Minds, I think, where this one dude was getting away with bodies, feeding the bodies to the pig. You know what I'm talking about? See, that's crazy. But we eat something that eat that dough, don't even make no sense. And then pigs don't really have adequate sweat glands either.
Right.
So those we sweat and they say we get toxins out, different stuff like that. They don't get a chance to do that. So all the parasites and things that they eat, that they consuming, that nasty food, it stays inside of them. And then chewing the cud is just a digestive system.
Right.
So when they chew their food, they spit it back up again, and then it'll pass through another part of them and go back in. And people say, oh, that might be nasty, but that means that they really, digesting it better. So that means all the parasites, toxins, everything gets a chance to actually leave that animal.
Right. And you think about it, when you feed a pig never look up at who's feeding it or what he's getting fed. He always have his head down. He never look up. And we eating this animal. That's why in slavery, that's all our people ate. Chitlins, you know what I'm saying? Pig feet. Pigs, they fed that to us because they knew that it was bad for us. And a lot of our people didn't want to eat it because they knew it was bad. But they would knock their teeth out and put a tube in their mouth and make them eat it through the tube. They wanted us to eat that pork. They was killing us. But now we don't know that. We don't know that pork is bad for us, and that's why we have high blood pressure. It's not because it runs in the family. A lot of people say, "Oh, I got high blood pressure because my great grandma had it, and then her great grandma had it, and then her great grandma." No, it's because what we consuming. They tell you can't even pour pork grease down the drain. It'll clog it up. So we ain't supposed to be eating that. And I think a pig carry like 32 diseases. It can make you sick, man. So that's the reason why we got all these health problems, because we actually eating the animals that were made to keep this place clean. Because the pig is like a garbage disposal of the earth. A pig is literally supposed to eat anything to make this place clean. But we're not supposed to be consuming it. But we've been tricked into thinking, oh man, hey, that bacon good. It is good. I used to eat it. It is good, but it ain't good for you though. That's the thing. I used to eat bacon. It ain't good for you though. But keep going on that, kid. I got something else. It was something on the keep going. Now I'm finna get before you leave, I'm finna get the crab stuff before you leave, cause I gotta get that.
This Leviticus 11 and 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Right.
Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, and the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Right. So the Bible said
So you're not really supposed to be eating that. You know, like you ever thought about how that's really one of the only animals you gotta clean out before you eat it, and you can't eat certain stuff, like how they gotta clean the veins and shrimp or whatever, that shit, or
what's stuff? Dookie?
I know, but what they call it though?
Mustard?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they just got.
That's crazy that they calling it that, but it's some sort of waste though.
Yeah,
like,
it's
that's wild they had us eating that. So we're not really supposed to eat it, because it's not the most healthy for us. And then even when you think about it, man, them things high, cost a lot. You gotta eat 1,000 of them to get full. It don't even really be worth it. Right. You can sit eat crabs all day and never get full, and just have to go to the bathroom, and that be it. So it's like, man, why we paying all this money for something that's a delicacy? You ever thought about it? Why it's a delicacy if we can go catch it? What's rare about that? I can go put crab pots out and catch them like no tomorrow for nothing. So why it's so hard? It ain't nothing about how they cook them, because a lot of the time it be white folks cook them, for real. And they ain't doing nothing but throwing Old Bay on them, for real. And what's that little sauce they be with?
Sloppy mama?
What? Nah, not that. With the crab. But they be calling it?
Bad.
The little, damn, it's some sort of sauce. I can't think about it right now. But you know, that ain't nothing but sauce and Old Bay. And you just steam them. So they not cooking on no real good way.
Cajun butter?
Yeah, that. So it's like, nah, we shouldn't be eating it anyway. And it causes health problems. But we just want to leave you with that.
Right, and it do, and that's why the Lord said, if you eat anything that come out the waters, it gotta have fins and scales. And most of it's fish basically, but some fish like catfish don't have scales, and they bottom feeders. Same thing with the crab and the shrimp. They're always at the bottom of the water, eating the unnecessary stuff in the water. And that's why when you go to Albany, the part down there, the water, it look dirty because they taking all the crabs and shrimp out. The stuff that's supposed to make the water clean. They taking those things out and we consuming them. That's just like this. Would you pick up a roach and throw a roach in a pot and cook it? You wouldn't do that. But the roach and the shrimp, they literally do the same thing. And that's why, like you said, when you open up what they ate at the bottom of the water, you gotta use the bathroom. Everything. So what's down there to eat that stuff? The crabs and the shrimp. And they are good. They make them good, like, but we don't know that though, because every commercial you see about some food, they always showing bacon, a new burger with bacon on it, or that new crab. You know, they making it look juicy. They might have water on it, like they making it look good. So our people thinking, oh, I want to try that, but they're not thinking about their health problems. They thinking, oh, I want to try it because it look good. But when you get into the history of those animals, every animal have a purpose on earth. Some animals you can eat. You know, it ain't, the Bible don't say nothing against chicken, nothing against, you said what?
Chicken, turkey, I need that.
Beef, right? Lamb, goat. Y'all ever had goat? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I never had goat shit.
What about lamb? Yeah, lamb. So he gave us certain meats we can eat, but certain meats, now it's not. The Bible have a reason why I say stuff. He not just saying we can't eat the pork and the crab, shrimp, and lobster just because. No, he's saying it for a reason, because those things can literally kill you, man. Like it can literally, you got high blood pressure. Like dang, now you got to do a little breathing mask on. You like 32 with one of them breathing masks. Like damn, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's because what we are consuming as a people. And that's how they broke us down too. They broke, cause we really, in the beginning of time, we really had God's strength. Look at Samson. This man had God's strength. He literally was in between the two pillars now. You gotta think about it. Them literally two pillars, man. They weigh a lot. And he literally, you know what I'm saying, pushed them down. That's God's strength. King David, he had God's strength. And they're my forefathers. But they broke us down, you know what I'm saying, just by the food we eat alone. They broke us down. Now we at a low state now. You literally, like right now, us, I would say, the more, like, I'm gonna say this, you had our men going to war, beating thousands, like 10 men by themselves.
And now people can't fight.
Yeah, now people can't fight. We can't even beat 2 or 3 people by ourselves. But they were literally going to war, beating thousands of people by themselves. That's how you know we literally had God's strength, man. But now we lost that because we discontinued from our God. Matter of fact, Jeremiah 17. I'm gonna leave y'all. Y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
Last one.
Okay.
Hold on, you know what? Before we get that, not even before we get that, we might as well close out with this. But then we'll switch you back to that. Because you brought out.
Deuteronomy. Dang. Yeah. I want. Yeah. We get that.
This is Deuteronomy. It's a 30, ain't it?
30 and 15. 30 and 15. Yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. But hey, man, it's a beautiful thing that y'all stopped, man, because y'all ain't stopped for us. Y'all stopped for the Lord. And best believe the Lord taking note, because the Lord take notes on everything. He see everything. He best believe he see when people walking by. He marking that. He literally marking that like, okay, she couldn't stop. So in that day when she called upon me, I'm not gonna hear her because she didn't have time for me. All we doing is bringing out the Bible. We're not out here to look pretty or just to sound good. We out here, you know what I'm saying, for the words of life. But you got it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
So he got 2 things, right? And when you wake up, you got 2 options every day: to choose life or choose death. And a lot of people choose death. But the Bible said, I'm gonna keep going. He's gonna tell you.
And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments.
Right.
And his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away, and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that she shall surely perish, and that she shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it.
Right. So we gotta choose life, man. Every day we wake up, we gotta choose the Most High. But it's a lot of distractions, especially on Albany State. It's easy to choose death here. All you see is death. All you see is dang mourning, all type of stuff. You don't really see life. So it's hard to choose life. But he made it hard for a reason, because it's hard to walk that straight and narrow path. Everybody choosing that wide gate. Everybody want it easy. Nothing that's worth having is easy. And the kingdom of heaven is definitely worth having, so it's gonna be hard. But you gotta make sure that you're walking that straight path, man. Don't walk that wide gate, because wide is the gate that leads to destruction. And that straight and narrow path is what leads to life. You know, so I want to leave y'all with that, man. Remember that y'all Israelites and God love y'all, and that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So, hey, continue to search this stuff out.
I appreciate what y'all
Hey,
doing.
all praise. Y'all be safe.
You too.
Wait, hold on. I get your Instagram.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All praise. All praise. What's up, my brother? You good? Yes, sir. Praise. Hey, what's up, man? But yeah, let me get it. But they still here. Let me get it real quick. They still listening. Hold up.
Here you go, man.
Put it. I wanna matter of fact,
What's your name?
Avery.
AV.
Martin.
You can just call me George.
I'm Obadiah. Yeah, that's my Hebrew name. Base serving the God, serving the Most High. That's my Hebrew name. It's also a book in the Bible too, called Obadiah. It's the shortest book in the Bible. Matter of fact, let's give some exhortation, man. You want Luke 9:62, and I'll give
Nah, you go up there.
Luke 10:19.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I thought we were gonna close out on that. It's like 6 o'clock.
Let's get.
Huh.
7 for completion. 7 for completion.
7 more?
Precept or exhortation though for completion. I give you a card, King.
No. What's your name?
Maxine.
Look into our YouTube on there.
What's your name?
Obadiah. So what's your name, brother? Joshua. Nice to meet you. Oh, hey, Joshua in the Bible. Stop playing. Stop playing. Hey, all praise, King.
You too.
But I want to give y'all, before y'all go, I want to give y'all some few more verses, some uplifting verses, because, you know, it's hard, especially hard being here you know, the stuff that we go through every day. You may feel like nobody with y'all. It may feel like, dang, man, I'm going through it. But just know the Lord is here with y'all, and the Lord got y'all here for a reason. The Lord didn't have y'all just stop here, you know what I'm saying, and just, you know, just stop here. He got y'all here for a reason. So I'll give y'all 4 more. Luke 10:19. All right, this is the book of Luke. This is the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Right? So the Lord give us power to tread upon any battle that y'all got, man, that y'all go through. The Lord can give us strength to overcome it. But we just gotta lean upon Him. Hey, nothing else gonna be able to help us. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else gonna be able to help us. How you doing? But think about it, because you have a lot of our people don't know the Most High God. So they cope to what they know best. Probably smoking, probably drinking, probably partying, probably multiple sex partners. A lot of our people do that thinking that's gonna heal them, but that's not gonna heal us. Only thing that's gonna physically heal us is coming back to the Most High God. That's literally the only thing. Nothing here is gonna physically heal us, man, because hey, this world, like I said, this world is full of darkness. It's nothing here in this world but darkness. But the only thing that's gonna physically be able to heal us is the Most High God. He is our helper. He's the one he can heal you. You sick, you go to him, he can heal you. You don't need to take all these different pills to heal you. The Most High can do it by himself.
That's right. You go 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. I know you had a list for these.
Oh, you good. Tell me what you need. You said 1 Corinthians
10 and 13.
Anything you come to mind?
And this is one of my favorites personally.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse. Oh yeah, hard. 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as coming to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, and that ye may be able to bear it.
Right, so there's nothing that's going to come upon you that you're not going to be able to get through. You can be going through a hard time, you can get fired, drop out of school, anything of the sort, but as long as you still got the Most High with you, that he's going to be able to make a way. Regardless of day, rain, snow, shine, because you got to think, the Lord don't sleep or stop for nobody. You know, everything else can get shut down. Whoever helping you or, you know, giving a handout to you, giving you money, giving you alms, anything like that, they can always pull that back whenever they want to. They can always throw it back in your face, but the Lord not going to do that. Why would he? He don't got no reason to. He doesn't gain anything from that. He don't get, you know, on his high horse. He don't gain ego from that, right? So it's just all about, you know, helping you.
I like that. That's not like that.
Hey, that's all praises. Yeah. That's 2nd Ezra 16 and 74. He said, "Hear, O ye my beloved, says the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand." So we know that these days of trouble that we was talking about are at hand. We know that, hey, destruction coming to this place, man. But you want to look at it? You can look at it. It's based. I was telling them earlier. It's called the Apocrypha. It's called the Apocrypha, and it means hidden books. It's an authorized King James version. It's 14 books in that. 14 books that's in it that was taken out of the original King James version. So it's part of the Bible. So hey, you can take a picture of it. Hey, it's like $10. But hey, it's stuff that they took out because it's certain stuff they didn't want you to know that was in there. You know, so hey, definitely look into it, my brother.
You want to do a Facebook station? We have 2 now.
2 more.
People said 4.
Yeah.
People lie to people out
Oh
here.
yeah. What you got? Well, I had some more. I ain't even finished reading, but you go ahead and pull yours and I go back to it. James point. I might get that last one.
So I get this one. You gonna end up. You gonna close out with James 4:7?
Yeah, I closed out with James point 7. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
This is the book of
Exodus.
Exodus.
2 more. I'm gonna let y'all go.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 14 and verse 14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Right. So that's, you know, simple, straight, cut to the point. But this one will be the last one.
All right, 2 more.
You be lying, man.
Oh, no. Look, I had this one at James 4 and 7. I ain't finished reading this one though. Because this 2nd Ezra 16 and 74. He said, "Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same." So we know that these times are coming. You know, destruction, you know, famine, pestilence, these things are coming. The Lord said, but he gonna deliver us from these things. So you don't gotta fear these things that's coming. A lot of people do though, because they're not trying to find the Most High God. They playing with the Most High God. But the Most High God say, man, if you really love him and you really search him out, you don't gotta fear none of this stuff that's coming. You don't gotta worry about. You're not gonna be touched. The Lord gonna literally protect you around these things that's coming. And He said, be not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your God, and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, says the Lord God. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. So don't let your sins or anything weigh you down. Don't let nothing from your past. Don't let nothing from your past weigh you down. We can, hey man, because the Lord said, when you come and serve Him, you are literally a new person. So those old things that you used to do before you found the Lord, that was right away. The Lord don't look at you like that no more. You are literally a whole nother person. So He said, I'm gonna reread that. He said, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. So don't let y'all sins weigh y'all down, man. Don't let nothing weigh y'all down. The Lord is literally upholding y'all with His right hand. Just like a child that's driving training wheels, a bike. They just not starting to learn. You may have your hand on it holding them, but eventually you're gonna let it go and they're gonna be riding. That's the same thing with the Lord. Maybe it may feel like you by yourself, that you alone. Y'all don't got nobody to talk to. I can't talk to my mom. I can't talk to my dad. My friends don't mess with me no more. Because the same thing, we lost friends in this thing. When we said that we want to serve the Lord, we literally lost friends. People start hanging with us. Oh, you ain't cool no more. You a weirdo. We lost everything. But the Lord was always with us still though. He literally was with us the whole time. But He had to make this happen to us so we can separate ourselves and serve Him. Because we can't be with our friends, we can't serve the Most High doing the same thing we was doing, you know what I'm saying, before. So the Lord said, man, He got us, man. If nobody else got us, the Lord got us. You can lean upon Him and call you. He's not a fairy tale person. He's not a, you know what I'm saying, a visible person. Like, He a real person. He got feelings. So He know what we go through. So you call upon Him. It was times where I called upon the Lord, I was going through it. I literally called upon the Lord, and it changed. I started feeling better. It's just everything spiritual. Everything is literally spiritual. It ain't nothing that's carnal that we go through. Everything is lit. Cause we spirits. We just in a fleshly body, but we spirits. So everything that we go through is spiritual. And the only way to overcome those spiritual battles is to fight spiritually. You can't fight them physically with your hands. You got to fight these battles with the Bible. You got to kill.
All right, man. Close out with the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Right. So it might seem like it's hard. It might seem as if, temptations, they can come stronger and stronger. But you got to think, if the devil's job is to get people to fall into sin and do things, if you keep saying no or you're not having it, then eventually he's going to go hop on somebody else that will give into whatever they lust or whatever they got going on is. Right? So, the more that you leave it alone, then the easier it's going to be. Right. It's like if you're on a diet or anything else, it's going to be hard, it's going to be tough at first, but once you kind of get in the full swing of that thing, you never even going to remember what you was doing prior to that. Right, man? That's all we got for you.
Yeah, and also it's okay to be different though, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to basically do your own thing. A lot of people think that's why a lot of people try to fit in. They try to walk around with the crowd. They know that ain't how they is. They don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? They do that because they don't want to be. A lot of people can't be alone. It's okay to be alone, but really you're not alone because the Most High with you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't gotta be like everybody else. Or he doing that, she doing that. So I want to fit in. So I want to do what he do. No, the Lord say, man, hey man, you gotta be. We different. We set apart. We're not like everybody else. The Lord said we gotta be a light to our people. So how we gonna be a light to them if we doing what they doing? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that was it. You had something else? Any words you want to say? Courage. So y'all good? Y'all got any questions? Y'all good? All right.
What advice would you give to someone who get ready to do something that they never did for, like, it's something good, positive that can benefit them in the long run, but kind of nervous? What would you say?
Give me Proverbs 3 and 5. So they finna do something, but they kind of nervous.
And it's positive.
Positive.
It can benefit them in the long run.
Proverbs 3 and 5. Did they tell you?
We gotta dance. It's a dance. We gotta perform tomorrow at Doherty on the stage. And it's like, I know a lot of this stuff, but I'm not all the way there.
Okay,
but
okay.
I ain't got no choice. I gotta perform tomorrow. So what would you say?
It's all good. It's all good.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not into thine own understanding. Right?
This one, how it goes. But the Bible said, it's weird. The Bible said, trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't lean into your own understanding. So, hey, give it to the Lord. Hey, pray on it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Lord will guide you. It was times where when I first started doing, I was by myself on campus. When I first started doing it, I'm like, dang, how people gonna look at me? I don't know if people gonna come up. I'm gonna look crazy. But once you actually do it, I'm like, they ain't even that bad. It's going smooth. So Satan, that's really Satan. Satan trying to get you to doubt. Satan don't want you to have confidence. His job is to try to bring you down, try to have you overthink. And overthinking, that's him. That's Satan. But when you at peace and you know that the Lord got you, you're gonna be like, I got this. Even if you don't know how to do it, the Lord will guide you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gonna make sure you straight. So definitely trust in the Lord. And I had to cause you gotta think about it. Everything is spiritual, literally. So when you overthink, when you stressed out, when you depressed, when you mad or upset, those are just demons. These demons their job is to get us out the spirit and try to nag us and get us upset and try to have us wondering or nervous. Those things are demons. But hey, the Lord said He got you. He said you trust in Him, He gonna make sure you straight. So hey, definitely trust in the Lord. Hey, He got you. Don't overthink it too much. Don't be like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Cause they might get you depressed. Overthinking might get you depressed. But hey, the Lord got you though. The Lord said He not gonna leave you or forsake you. So if you're doing something, the Lord not gonna leave you or forsake you. So I think He has something too on that. All right, go. And, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 15 through 16. I have it written down. It say, hold on real quick. Let me get it. Let me see is that what you want.
Hold on. I think I found it. But I knew that it was something to it. Oh, so this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offers. So a lot of the times we got certain things that go on in our mind, and fear is just nothing but, you walking away from something different than what you're gonna done before. It's basically the same. So you don't necessarily gotta be scared about it, just know that it's different. And sometimes change is different. You could be getting ready to make the biggest success in your life, and you would never even know it unless you go jump out there and do it.
Yes, I like that.
So sometimes you kind of got to take that leap of faith in a sense, and that's really all it is.
I need that.
Hey, that leap of faith.
Yeah, I need that.
So everybody, y'all good?
Yes.
I remember that y'all Israelites, that the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
You can
Obadiah. Obadiah.
All right.
All right, man. All right, let's.
Obadiah. I remember that y'all Israelites now, and that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. We in the kingdom of heaven. Literally already prepared. It's already prepared. We just gotta want it. So our YouTube on there. Y'all got any questions? My email is on my YouTube. So y'all got any questions?